So just a quick reminder, we're looking at the mental machines on the learning platform here. If we just look at the course where we were, I started by asking you to look at animation on the web. I've been teaching art for 10 years and this is a very new and exciting way of getting practice to happen that we just haven't had before. So we can bring them into Flash. That if you want to really extend this and you kind of think, well, this is easy, I know how to do this, you know, build something in that's a little bit more complicated. All my planning happens in the learning platform. And in terms of setting courses up, it takes quite a time at the beginning, but what I'm finding now is that a lot of these courses are zipped up and then reused. Now what's been really exciting in the last year is that a colleague who is also teaching on the digital art course is now sharing resources with me. It really saves us a huge amount of time in terms of planning and organising. Now, like in any classroom situation, she would probably not want to teach exactly like I teach. So she's taken my basic structure, but she set it up completely differently. Of course, the brilliance of all this is when we start sharing beyond us in the art room, and it's when we actually start sharing resources across the country and finding people that we want to work with and looking at their courses and thinking, well, that would be a fantastic project to teach. So a little challenge for you, about 5 or 10 minutes, see if you can get the Muybridge images offline, get them chopped up into Photoshop and then into Flash. The whole course is shared online. Each topic is almost like a learning episode. I can start teaching at the beginning and move through. Okay, click on Art, go into Adobe. Oh, there you go, it's coming in now. Elements 3. But certain students will work through things much quicker than other students. What's nice with the learning platform is that I can let the students push on at speed if they want to. I can also send them back at any point, if they're absent, to revisit and recap.
You work at your own pace. If you miss things or you run out of time, you can go back to it in your own time to catch up. And if you do more than you need to, you can always move further on.
The most personalised I've managed to create a course on the learning platform is for a student who was very much on the fringes of learning and who really didn't enjoy being in any kind of classroom situation. And we said, let's try and do this virtually. And we actually set him up his own course using Photoshop Tennis, where you can pass images backwards and forwards. So I started by showing how in Photoshop you can take an image and subvert it and change the context. He's picked this up and, you know, his Photoshop skills are gaining, he's experimenting, trying different things out, cloning tools, introducing new characters. He's also immediately understanding using the learning platform to have some kind of learning teaching experience, but outside of that conventional teaching that wasn't working in his situation, and this has allowed him to engage. So that was a fantastic success. In any course, I will try and put various links into free software. One of the big issues that the students have is that they can't afford the latest software. We will often put in links to valuable learning resources, websites or documents or magazine articles or even TV programmes, just broadening the students' understanding of what art and design can be. Assessment is obviously key to a lot of the work that we do. At the moment, I'm really into the use of forums for peer assessment and assessment for learning. Art and design lends itself to criticism, but the students know what is good and what's not good, and they know why it's good. And hearing it from each other, I think, is probably stronger than hearing it from me. I've tried in my classes to get students talking together, but whereas you might have a couple of students who would never actually state their opinion in the classroom, what I'm finding with the forums within the learning platform is that it allows all the students to have their unique voice. We had an interesting student who suffered with Tourette's syndrome and actually found the classroom dynamic very difficult to deal with. The learning platform kind of gave him even ground. He's working at 1:12 AM in the morning, and in my discussions with him, I found that that's when he does his work. So he says that he's a bit tired and that he's thinking about something to do with depth. And then he mentions some key contextual pieces, Paolo Uccello, the Battle of San Romano, Caravaggio. Initial thinking is good here, but what's really impressive about this is that not me as the teacher, but another student peer evaluates what he's doing. And the assessment here, I think, is amazing for a variety of reasons. Nicola is saying, Well, I actually think what you're saying is quite good. I'm not sure about this bit and this bit, but have you thought about these things? She even includes a hyperlink that he can then go on to. Now, what's interesting there is that Nicola's gaining this fantastic knowledge about what other students are doing, but also this greater understanding of art and design, which is something that we wouldn't offer unless we were doing this through a forum in the learning platform.
Everyone uploads their work, and then you can post a message saying what you think of it and what you think they should have done, or ask them how they did it. Yeah, the teachers can see all your work and they can comment. It's like one big chat room, really, including the students and the teachers. You can just learn from other students, so you have a much wider selection of ideas to put towards your work, which will make it better.
It allows students' learning to be as structured as they want it to be. It helps them keep organised and they don't lose their work.
You can keep all your work in the same place. You just upload it and then you can download it at school. And during your lesson you can get it up on the screen and show people, so you don't have to carry it around with you all day.
There's an animation Year 12 uploaded from last year. And can you see, he's got 2 parts. Everything they ever put into the learning platform is recorded. And you can see any forum post they've written, any piece of work they've attached, any homework, anything. And that's what we have provided for the last couple of years to the examiner and said, look, here is the work. And so far we've been quite successful. I don't think the learning platform replaces anything. I think it supports good classroom practice. I think it's a fantastic tool that allows us to actually take students a little bit further. The function of the actual lesson might be about a particular skill, but because it's framed within the learning platform, it allows the student to continue that lesson in their own time, in their own space. It allows them far more flexibility in terms of how they progress.
I use the learning platform more at home than at school, because I mostly do my work at home rather than at school. If you didn't have the learning platform, you'd have to do it at school all the time in your lessons. The lessons are quite laid back because you're not rushing all your work or anything, you're just discussing and talking about ideas, and you can do it in your own time. You can do it in the lesson as well, but most people prefer to do it in their own time at home.